Hey, it is Thursday, y'all. It's check-in Thursday. It's so good to be here tonight. I'm excited to just jump in here just for a couple minutes today and to check in with you. How are things going? How are things going? Are you doing the inside job? Are you working it out? Are you doing what you need to do in order to get to where it is that you need to get to? Are you doing what you need to do in order for you to embrace, in order for you to discover, in order for you to unleash your own uniqueness? Last week I was so excited that I got to have my daughter with me, one of my business partners here, and we talked about owning your joy. And today I wanted to jump in here to talk about legacy. Legacy. You think about. I think when we think about legacy, what comes to mind from most of us is significance. That's what actually comes to my mind when I think about legacy. We've all heard about legacy. People say that when you think about leaving a legacy, you feel a lot happier, you feel purposeful, you're just looking towards doing something great, something amazing. And it's more than success. When you think about legacy, I think it crosses over into the realm of significance, which is so much more long lasting, right? The more I think about this topic of legacy, the more I understand, that while leaving a legacy is important, it's more important to live a legacy. So it's more important for us to be living our legacy than be trying to leave one. And I would wager, to think that you would like for people to say things about you, or to look at you in the way that you want to be known while you are alive. I think this is even more exciting than thinking about what people will say while you're no longer here, because then you can't really hear it. You can't really get to experience it, right? And this is where I love to think about. I read this in a book I was reading a while back ago about two different types of values, right? The eulogy values versus resume values. And when you think about these two, those two come into play. Eulogy values, what I understand that to mean, those are what make you stand for your highest value. It's what makes you stand for what you believe. It allows you to stand your deepest convictions. And eulogy values also gives you like the big picture. You get that big picture of life, what life is really all about, and it gives you, I think, the impetus to create the life you want, to create the life that you were meant to live, the life that you were designed to live. And the time to start living your legacy is always now. It's always now. There's one of the best ways, I think, for any of us to make the difference in this life while we're on this journey is to live our legacy, and be focused on that much more than being focused on leaving a legacy. This past Sunday, one of my mentors and best friends, Terry Priego, transitioned from this life. And while I mourn her passing, I celebrate the life that she lived and the impact that she had on my life and on so many people's lives. I think her goal in life was never to leave a legacy. It was more to live a legacy. And obviously, in living your legacy, you ultimately leave one. Terry lived her legacy, and there's so many things that I learned from her. I learned, number one, that there is a greater power on this earth, on this universe, in what we call the universe. And that greater power is God. And she trusted that greater power with everything in her being, everything in her being. Like she had no doubt about that there is a God, and that she's not, and that he's in control, and that he's Lord of her life. And I love that she trusted God so wholeheartedly. She trusted God with her finances, with her even down to getting her a husband. She trusted God with every area. There was nothing that she held back in trusting God. You know, the other thing that I learned from her as she lived her legacy is she loved life. She loved life, and you would always hear her say, "You gotta love life. You gotta love life." And the first step I think to consider while living our legacy, apart from obviously trusting God, is to love the life that we have, to love life. It's not always going to be smooth, it's not always going to go uphill. There's going to be some valleys, but man, when you get up to the hill, it's like so, oh, it's so amazing because you experience what it was like to be in the valley. And so, just love life with everything. And we need to understand that we have been given the gift of life, right? We can choose to live the way we want. We can choose to do that, or we can choose to live the way that is right, and the way um, that is already established for us by our infinite creator, by God, Jehovah himself. And when we really appreciate life, we will definitely manage ourselves better. Once we love our lives, we will then set big goals, and we can make the most of the limited time we have, really to make an impact, because we don't have forever. We only have a limited time to do that. So appreciate your life and love life for what it is. The gift of life is something, we appreciate and cherish. And she really did that. I love how she just appreciated everything in life. It didn't matter what she was going through. She loved that so much. The other thing I learned from her is to be enthusiastic. I don't know that there was anyone that was more enthusiastic than Terry. Once you love your life, you need to be totally enthusiastic about your life. Get excited about your life because it's yours. It's nobody else's. Just think of it as an opportunity to experience this world as it is. When you are enthusiastic and you project that joy and that happiness, relationships are fertilized with the seeds of trust. Enthusiasm, I think, is the key to a life of substance and joy, a full life, an abundant life. And if we want to experience all the beauty that life has to offer, we need to be enthusiastic about life in spite of the obstacles each one of us face every day. We're going to face obstacles. I know that in the last several years of her life, it was challenging health wise, but she was always enthusiastic and joyful about life. And that brings me into the next thing, that when you think about living your legacy and living a life of significance, being grateful. Oh my gosh, I don't know if anybody else that was more grateful than she was. Grateful. She taught me how to be grateful no matter what. She taught me how to have an attitude of gratitude. Your attitude towards everything in your life will play a greater role going forward. It really will. And you need to develop coping skills to view the world through a prism of abundance, right? Because sometimes we can think that there's only so much of something, but there's an abundance in this world. And that's where gratitude comes in, and keep looking at the brighter side of life. And I think your attitude is the true barometer of how you experience your life. I talk about that. I think I sound like a broken record right now, because our attitude is a barometer, for how we experience our lives. And our attitude, this attitude that we have, it will reflect in the way other people treat us, right? Maintaining an upbeat attitude and just really being able to attract joy and abundance, and people around us, no matter what their attitude may be. When you're totally grateful about your life, you experience joy. And I think that everyone that's ever come in contact with her, her coworkers, the people in her community, her family members, they experience that joy. And the reason I am, really linking this to legacy is, unless you feel joyous, it doesn't matter how much outer success you have. It really doesn't. You have, because you'll never enjoy it. That the joy comes from inside. And so, one of the things that I learned from her is to savor the small moments and revere life. Really do that. Man, she was so full of life and loved life so much. I remember, whenever when she was single, I'm talking about when she was a single woman, not married as yet, and she would just grab some of us. We would go on. One time I went to Mexico with her. We had the oh my gosh, the time of our lives, and everyone that you would talk to about Terry, would share just their times with her and how amazingly unique they were. One of the other things that I learned from her, and I think that this goes really in line with living a legacy, is accepting yourself. And she did that, and she taught me to do that. You are totally unique in this world, right? You are. And it has been well established that even identical twins are totally different, right? This means that no one else can do what you do. No one else can be like you, and you cannot be anyone else either. So be totally comfortable with you as yourself, as a person. Be comfortable in your skin, no matter what size or shape or color you are. Be comfortable. The first steps, I think, towards greater richness is self-acceptance. It really is. And I know that it took me a long time to get there. Accept everything about yourself and change what you want to change, right? Change the things that you need to change, and be intentional about transforming and growing. Another way to put this is, no one else can write the book you are meant to write. Nobody else can do that. Only you can do that, to bring the talent you were meant to bring, to have the impact that you were meant to have. No one else can do that. Your talents, your gifts, that were given to you by God, has to be brought out only by you. So tap into your amazing strengths and bring out your talent. I know that Terry left this earth empty because she gave everything of herself. I think about, again, legacy and significance. The other word that comes to my mind is character. Character. Trust in relationships is built on a foundation of truth. And when you tell the truth all the time, you feel great about yourself, and everyone around you will truly understand that you mean business, that you mean you're a person of integrity. And man, it's hard to find people like that. People always respond favorable to those who live by their highest values and their highest ideals. And at the end of our lives, at the end of the day, what will be important is that you lived your life according to your values. One thing I know, her values and her standards were founded in the Bible. And that's what she taught me to do. And I'm so grateful for that. I think of, I read one time Stephen Covey, he said that we are to begin with the end in mind, and align all of our activities, to that highest value. Align that, begin with the end in mind. And so when we think of character, we really have to think of, what is the end? What is it that we want to end up with? And character is what is left after charisma is gone, right? You've probably heard that. Aligning all of our actions to what we want in our life, and stand by that. That is really what character is. This action specifically will ensure you will live your legacy if you work on your character each and every day. I know that she did that, and she was such a woman of character. One of the things um, that I think about when I think of her and I think of the legacy and the significance that she lived and is leaving behind is she was an inspirer. She inspired people. You could not be around her or have a conversation with her on the phone and not leave feeling inspired. You know, inspiring others is one of the keys to leaving a lasting legacy. You know, as I said, always, we're all leaders, right? We are all leaders, and if you consider yourself to be a leader, which you should, you need to inspire others to bring their best selves. Even in your family, you can inspire your children through your actions. So you know, just always think about those around you. How can you inspire them? Always be on the lookout to set a great example, which inspires everyone around you. She has been an inspiration to me for so many years. I remember just always telling people about her, or even using her life to inspire me whenever I was going through different situations. I would remember some of the things that she was going through or had gone through, and it would inspire me. You know, again, inspiring others to achieve their goals, to achieve their best selves, to go after it, and also inspiring them to live and to leave a legacy for themselves as well. Man, I am so in awe of the life that she led, and the life that she's leaving behind, the memory. You know, always respecting others. That's the other thing that comes to mind. She respected everyone. She respected everyone's perspective so that she could understand it, and you respect everyone, regardless of what their position was or whatever their economic or whatever. It didn't matter what came with a person. There was such a level of respect for them, and I think that, you know, when you respect everyone, you feel a lot better about yourself too, don't you? When you're not looking at what people financial or economic and or their racial background, when you're not using, or their position, when none of that is coming into play, when you just see people as a person. I love that so much about her. She respected others for who they were, and for, you know, for the fact that they, each and every person is a child of God, whether they choose to be or not. I remember just remembering her saying that we're all God's children, whether we choose to, or whether we choose to live that way or not. Oh wow! Again, leaving a lasting legacy is something that I got from her, and I understand that it was so much more important to live it. You know, to live it more so than aiming to leave it. And you know, as I think about my friend, as I think about my mentor, I can only think about her with so much joy and so much love. Oh my gosh, and just so much pride. I feel very honored. Hey, I feel very honored to be in this life and to be in existence at the same time as she was. You know, I love that I was so fortunate to have her in my life and to learn so many lessons from her as a mentor. I think it's so important that each and every one of us strive to surround ourselves again with a group of people, with people who are going to call us higher, who no matter where they are in the world, that they are going to call us to be our highest and our best selves each and every day. So I want to remind us that if you haven't already registered for the upcoming Dare to Be You 4-week coaching and mentoring program, it starts March 6th. I think the last segment I said September 6th, but it starts March 6th. That's not too long away from here, 2 Saturdays from now, and you can easily go ahead and sign up for that and register. You will love to be a part of this, and you would really kick yourself if you miss it. So go ahead and sign up for our coaching and mentoring Dare to Be You 4-week program. I think you can see the registration link. It's right there, tinyurl.com, KAGDZY84. And you click on that and you can register. Hey, Claudine, it's so good to see you. So good to see you here. Oh, wow. Auntie Claudette, hello. How are you? Good to see you as well. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad that you were able to get on. So glad you were able to get on. Guys, it's Thursday, right? We still have several more days to the end of the week. So whatever goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the week, if you haven't achieved them as yet, whatever steps that you put in place that you were going to start doing, you didn't do it yet, it's not too late, right? This is why I'm checking in on you. This is why I'm checking in on you, so that you can get the stepping, get the stepping, get the stepping and get it done, get it done. You're awesome. I believe in you. Hey, go out there and let's live our legacy like my friend and mentor, Terry Priego did. Live our legacy, right? So that we can make the difference in this world that we came here to do. Do what we came here to do, because guess what? Nobody else can do it. If we don't do it, nobody else can do it. All right, I will check in with you next Thursday, and I hope to see you guys in the program. I hope to see you in the program. Create a great day. Good night.